Welcome back to the program. It is a real treat whenever we have Gerald Celente on the program. He is the publisher of Trends Journal, an extraordinary record of predicting accurately the biggest social trends around the world. And I wanted to, first of all, welcome you, Gerald, to the program, and then say how interesting your latest alert is on what you take to be what is actually going on in Libya. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much for having me, Michael.
Gerald, you have accurately predicted that the Afghan and Iraq wars would turn into a financial swampland. They would not be successful operations. And now you are looking at Libya with what was supposed to have been a very different president in the White House, but you are basically showing in your analysis that Barack Obama, if anything, is out-bushing George Bush.
Yeah, we've been doing this actually since before Obama got elected. When you really read between the lines, you could see what was going on with him, and he's backtracked Barack on just about every issue that he said he was going to move forward with, starting with his second day in office when he vowed to close down Guantanamo within a year. And he was against the Patriot Act, and he's renewed that. And he's rendition. You go down the whole line, sending 100,000 troops into Afghanistan, continuing the Iraq War, and outbushing Bush as well, and sending Predator drones into Pakistan, killing thousands of people. But of course, they're suspected militants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they just killed, I believe, 38 innocent suspected militants. It was either 38 or 40 last week. The same day, by the way, that the headline read, 25 killed in Libya. The United States slaughtered 38.
Yes.
So the hypocrisy of what's going on is really just keeping in pace with what Clinton began under his regime in their no-fly zones under Iraq. Remember that one?
Yeah.
That went on for some 8 years. And people forget also that just days after Bill Clinton got elected back in '92, he bombed Baghdad. So it's the same. It's the same. Whether it's the Bananos or the Gambinos, the Republicans or the Democrats, it's the same thing.
Or maybe even the Three Stooges in some cases, because if you take a look at some of the stuff that's happening out of Europe, it's frightening. But I want to ask you this, Gerald, because we have so little time with you. You think that what's going on in North Africa and the Middle East is much bigger than a series of disconnected incidents. You think this is shaping up, and all of these things are happening very fast towards making the first great war of the 21st century. How bad do you think this is going to get?
It's begun. This was our forecast in the spring, and it had to do what was going on in Europe with all the austerity measures, the collapse of the global economy that's only being propped up by the digital money not being worth the paper it's printed on by the Federal Reserve and the European central banks. And when all else fails, they take you to war. You look behind every one of these. Forget the baloney that they keep saying, the people are yearning for democracy. No, they're not. They want to eat. You have food prices at all-time high. There's too very few with much too much and too many with much too little. You have university-educated people that can't get jobs. You have unemployment rates running between Europe and Mideast and North Africa of people between the ages of 18 to 28 of over 50%.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not stupid. They know the deal. They're getting shafted. That's what all this stuff is about.
So
you look
Gerald,
at Yemen.
Is it a little bit about social justice being what is needed rather than cruise missiles?
Yeah, it's social justice, all right. But look at the United States. You want to look at more hypocrisy? Have you heard a peep coming out of them about the slaughters in Yemen or what's going on in Bahrain?
Or the Ivory Coast?
No calls for overthrow there.
Yeah.
No calls from Hillary Clinton that we have to take them out.
Mm-hmm.
No, why not? Oh, could it be because the Fifth Fleet is in Bahrain? No, it couldn't be that. Look, do you think the United States would, or Sarko, the little American over there in France, or that little weenie Cameron, the Oxford, the Cambridge Eton boy, would be yelling about Libya if their major export wasn't the finest sweet crude on the planet, and it was broccoli instead? Do you think do you hear any of these people yelling out for the massacres as we speak that are going on in the Sudan or in the Ivory Coast? Not a peep. Not a peep. But we got to get Gaddafi. Got to get Gaddafi. That madman.
Let me ask you about Gaddafi, because you think that he is in a different category, that he could be a very dangerous cat if he decides not to go gently into that last good night.
That's right. And, this guy is, is a megalomaniac. We've seen it. He's in office running that show for 41 years. He's already said they'll die before they leave. So when he dies, we think that boom goes London, boom Paris. How about a dirty bomb here, or a biological warfare there? And then you know what, Michael? You're going to hear all the people cry, "Oh, they hate us for our freedom and liberty." No, it's called revenge.
Yeah.
And that Sarko and that Cameron and that Obama are set, and you got Harper up there in Canada. They're setting them up for a revenge attack. Anybody that goes into anybody else's country and tells them what to do, they're looking for trouble. And by the way, who are these rebels in Libya that everybody's supporting?
Nobody
knows. What crime gang do they belong to? What piece of the action are they looking to grab? So before Gaddafi goes out, we say somebody else is going to go out with him.
One last quick question on trendsjournal.com. You want your subscribers and those people to take a look at it, because you're going to have upgrading on these Trends News accounts, because it's getting pretty hot, isn't it?
Yeah, we've never seen events happen like this before. And you have to, other than octogenarians, who has ever seen events unfold like this every day? Syria today, Jordan. Or how about an earthquake followed
Japan.
by a tsunami and a meltdown?
Yeah. No, it's quite incredible. So just tell people how they can get a hold of your stuff, Gerald.
Trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com, and we're updating bi-weekly now with Trends in the News features, because we can't write and analyze this quick enough. It's happening so fast.
Great to talk to you again. Thank you for coming on the show.
Hey, thank you, Michael.
Gerald Celente, he is the publisher of Trends Journal. And if you want to go and check his record, it's eerily accurate on a lot of big stories that nobody else saw coming. We're going to take a short break.